Welcome to this tutorial. I am Deepak Das Manikpuri, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Bhilai Mahila Mahavidyalaya. This lecture is for MSc second semester, paper 1, RDBMS, Unit 5, Relational Database Design, lecture 2. The topic which we will discuss is issues of physical database design, cluster index, denormalization, and indexing. First of all, we know that what is physical database design. Physical database design is concerned with transforming the logical database structures into an internal model consisting of stored records, files, indexes, and other physical structures. So, what issues affect physical database design? There are two things: database size and database usage. So in database size, the number of relations, number of tuples, size of each tuples. And in database usage, number of updates, number of inserts, number of deletes, number of queries. So what does database size determines? First is storage space, the amount of hard space required to store the data. Second is processing time, time taken to execute queries and perform updates. And third is communication time, the time taken to move data between systems. So the things are, the amount of data in the database will determine the type of DBMS that must be used. For example, a small database may be implemented on a simple database management system, but a large database will require a complex DBMS. The amount of data also determines the amount of disk space required to store the data. For example, a small database will require a small amount of disk space, while a large database will require large amount of disk storage. The time it takes to execute queries or updates in the database is determined by the amount of data. For example, update that requires all the tuples in a large relation to be changed will take longer than update that changes all the tuples in a small relation. The time it takes to transfer the data between systems. For example, transferring a large amount of data between the database server and the user machine will take longer than transferring a small amount of data. So the size of the database is determined by, first one is the number of relations or entities in the database. Second one is the number of tuples in each relation. Third one is the size of each tuple in the database. And the last is additional storage space required by the DBMS to information describing the structure of the database. Now the things, what does database uses determine? The first one is the importance of data, and second is the implementation of the database. So in the importance of data, the popular data items which is accessed quickly, and the unpopular data items which access less quickly. And the implementation of the database, the methods which selected to implement the database. The use of database determines which parts of the database are important and will be accessed often. A data item that is accessed every hour should normally be quicker to access than a data item that is accessed once a year. Once the database designer knows the size of database and how it will be used, he or she must decide the most efficient method of implementing the database. So, How we can find the database usage is the number of updates for each entity in the database, the number of inserts for each entity in the database, the number of deletes for each entity in the database, and the number of queries for each entity in the database. Now, how to identify the database usage access? So, the concept is CRUD matrix. The CRUD matrix concept, which is C for create, R is for read, U is for update, and D is for delete. So when is data is created? When we use new tuples. When is data read? When we fetch queries. When is existing data changed? And when is data deleted? The access to the database may be summarized in a CRUD matrix. The CRUD matrix shows the processes or transactions which occur in the system and matches them with the entities that they access. The CRUD matrix shows the creates, reads, updates, and deletes that each process performs upon the entities. This allows the database designer to identify which processes create, read, or change entities. The database designer can estimate the number and type of accesses made to the database by asking a series of questions about the data. For instance, which entities are searched or updated, which entities are deleted, which entities are affected by process X, which attributes are selected, and which conditions are specified. So, in physical database design, the objective is using knowledge of data usage and size improve the efficiency of the database. And the technique used for physical database design is indexing, caching, and denormalization. So the main objective of physical database design is to use the knowledge gained from analyzing the use and size the database to improve the efficiency of the database. So the efficiency of the database is determined by the requirement of the users and the database designer. For example, efficient database may be one that executes queries quickly or uses the least amount of disk space. What are the next things? There are many different tools that the database designer may use when implementing the physical database. And indexing increases the speed of accessing the data by storing spatial data structure which can be processed very quickly. Caching uses part of the computer's main memory to store part of the database. Main memory is very quick to access. And denormalization is a process of changing the structure of the relation to improve the performance of queries and updates. Now come to the indexing. So in this figure, we see that this is an index and the other side this is a relation. So index is for name to name attribute. So now come to the point. One of the most common operation performed in database is locate a tuple, which is also called in the row manner in a relation. When a database relation becomes very large, searching for information in it can be a very slow process, so indexing is used. DBMS allow user to create indexes to speed up certain types of query. Index as a table or other data structure that is used to determine the location of rows in a table that satisfies some condition. In the example above, index has been created on the name attribute of the relation. The index is smaller than the relation. This means that it is faster to search the index than it is to search the relation. The index speeds up queries that access individual tuples in a relation. For example, show Ram's salary. An index will not improve the speed of queries that access all the tuples in a relation. For example, shows all employee salaries. Now, what are the guidelines for indexing? First is index only the primary key. Second thing is index the foreign keys. Next is index attributes that are sorted. Next, do not index attribute with few values, and do not index every attribute. Because primary keys are unique and are often used to access individual tuples in a relation, primary keys are used to join two relations. So, indexing which is primary key. Foreign keys are used to join two relations together. An index will improve the speed of joins between relations. Sorting data is a very slow process. Indexes are sorted when they are built. Sorting data using an index simply means reading the index. Indexes work best when accessing individual tuples. Attributes with few values will have many duplicates. Indexes are stored on disk. Unnecessary indexes waste space. So what is cluster index? Cluster index is a type of index which sorts the data row in the table on their key values. In the database, there is only one cluster index per table. It defines the order in which data is stored in the table, which can be sorted in only one way. So there can be only a single cluster index for every table. In RDBMS, usually the primary key allows you to create a cluster index based on that specific column. And what is non-cluster index? A non-cluster index stores the data at one location and indices at another location. The index contains pointers to the location of that data. A single table can have many non-cluster indexes, as an index in the non-clustered index is stored in different places. For example, a book can have more than one index, one at the beginning which displays the content of a book unit-wise, while the second index shows the index of terms in alphabetical order. A non-clustering index is defined the non-order field of table. This type of indexing method helps you to improve the performance of queries that use keys which are not assigned as a primary key. A non-cluster index allows you to add a unique key for a table. So what are the characteristics of cluster index? Default and sorted data storage. Use just one or more than one column for index. Helps you to store the data and index together. Fragmentation, operations, and key lookup. And the characteristics of non-cluster indexes: store key values only, pointers to index row, allows secondary data access, bridge to the data. You can create a non-cluster index for a table or view. Every index row in the non-cluster index stores the non-clustered key value and a row locator. Now let's see what are the difference between cluster index and non-cluster index. The parameters are and clustered and non-clustered. So used for clustered is you can sort the records and store clustered index physically in memory as per the order. And in non-clustered, use for a non-clustered index help you to create a logical order for data rows and uses pointers for physical data files. The storing method in clustered is allows you to store data pages in the leaf nodes of the index. And storing method in the non-clustered is these indexing methods never store data pages in the leaf node of the index. The size of cluster index is quite large, and the size of the non-cluster index is small compared to the clustered index. Data accessing in clustered is faster, and the data accessing in non-cluster is slower compared to the clustered index. In clustered, additional disk space not required, and in non-cluster, additional disk space required to store the index separately. In the clustered, the type of key is a by default primary key of the table is a cluster index. And in non-clustered, it can be used with unique constraint on the table which act as a composite key. The main feature of cluster index can improve the performance of data retrieval. And in non-clustered, it should be created on column which are used in joins. So what are the advantage of the cluster index? Cluster indexes are ideal option for range or group by with max mean count type of queries. In this type of index, a search can go straight to a specific point in data so that you can keep reading sequentially from there. Clustered index method uses location mechanism to locate index entry at the start of a range. It is effective method for range searches when a range of search key value is requested. Helps you to minimize page transfer and maximize the cache hits. The advantage of non-cluster index is a non-cluster index helps you to retrieve data quickly from the database table. Helps you to avoid the overhead cost associated with the clustered index. A table may have multiple non-cluster index in RDBMS, so it can be used to create more than one index. What are the disadvantages of cluster index? A cluster index takes longer time to update records when the fields in the cluster index are changed. And the leaf nodes mostly contain data pages in the clustered index. The disadvantage of non-cluster index are a non-cluster index helps you to store data in a logical order but doesn't allow to sort data rows physically. Lookup process on non-cluster index become costly, and every time the clustering key is updated, a corresponding update is required on the non-cluster index as it stores the clustering key. So the last topic is denormalization. So the points are in denormalization is it is used to combine multiple table data into one so that it can be queried quickly. It focuses on to achieve the faster execution of the queries through introducing redundancy. Data is integrated into the same database and hence a number of tables to store the data increases in number. Introduce some sort of wastage of memories, doesn't maintain any data integrity, and used where joins are expensive and frequent queries executed on the tables. So in today's discussion, we focus on issues of physical database design, indexing, cluster index, and denormalization.